started rhyming. I mean, I'm an 80s baby, so I grew up with uncles and cousins who broke, break dance and did graffiti and rhymed and all that other stuff. So for me, it's always been a part of my life, and I can't remember a time when hip hop wasn't a part of me, music wasn't a part of me. But the moment that I decided to make a career of it, I was in college. I wasn't happy, and I really wanted to. It was my passion, it was my love. I always loved the stage first. So I think about 19, I realized I was like, this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. And it just so happened that I was getting encouragement from other people that heard my music. So it made me feel confident in giving it a shot. I didn't think, I didn't know where it would end up, and it wasn't like there was like okay, I'm gonna do this and get signed, or I'm gonna do this. It was just like, I love this shit so much, it's all I wanna do, so let me try it. And I mean, besides a few odd jobs here and there, I had a regular desk job for a couple years. Other than that, this has been my life since I was 19. I'll be 30 in this year, so it's been 11 years of touring and putting out music and battling and just, collabing with other artists, and it's so part of my identity. I really don't know what else I could be doing. I don't know anything else that I'm that passionate about or love that much to where I would want to sacrifice so much. Because it is a sacrifice. I don't want anyone to think that this is some easy shit. It's can be really hard when, it's not steady income, it's not different things. But when you're living your dream, you're living your passion, I think your life in general is much better because you're doing something that, is true to who you are. So I guess the short answer would be 19. When I was battling, I had supreme confidence. There was one MC that I didn't get to battle, but I thought, because what happened was it was Scribble Jam 06, and this was actually the last organized battle I was a part of, and I basically got robbed blind. They tried to say I lost to this kid named Deuce Leader. And I mean, it was just, you can check the footage, YouTube it tonight, Reef the Lost Cauze versus Deuce Leader. And when they say that he won, then I just completely flipped it. But the only kid that I ever, not feared, but thought, okay, this dude's gonna give me a problem, it was shaping up to be me versus Kid Thesaurus, who's basically him and this other kid, Immaculate. They basically, from my understanding, have been running the, underground battle scene for a long time. And the only other dude that I think would ever, besides them, give me a problem is my brother Iron Solomon, who, we both came up together. That's my dude. I've known him forever, and he's the only cat that I really think has that battle thing down. But it's so different now because before you just face your opponent, it would just be me and you. We just met and we would have to battle. And now these guys have a month to prepare. They get to, go online and look at other people's battles, and it's crazy. It's like a whole different, it's become like a subculture. There's like hip hop, there's regular guys that rhyme, and then there's the battle world, and it's like wrestling, man. These dudes have characters, and they know people's birth dates and when their last girlfriend, what she looked like. I mean, it's insane. We just me and a couple of my boys, we got to judge a King of the Dot battle in Toronto a couple weeks ago, and I mean, these guys literally, were in their own world, knew everything about each other. Oh, you remember 2 years ago when, Monkey Man battled this guy and this happened, and it's just it became a little bit too intense for me. And also, Mortal Technique told me something that I'll never forget. He's been a big influence and a very inspirational cat to me. He's always kept it real with me. And the one thing he said was the battling thing, man, it's like when you wear a shiny suit. No one wants to forget that they saw you wearing that shiny suit. So if you're an established artist and you're out here trying to make music and get a point across, the battling thing can overshadow it. You see it all the time, I'm sure. You hear it all the time. Oh, he's dope, but he's a battle rapper. And I started to get that tag. So for me, it was a very conscious decision to kind of ease my way out of it. And especially after that last loss where it was obvious that I've been robbed. Everyone that was a judge that day, I pretty much beaten before the battle. So it was just they were left a very sour taste in my mouth. So I haven't really looked back since then, That's my favorite thing, is to go out on stage. And a lot of people like to, they say, oh man, I love rocking for a crowd that knows my stuff. Me, the greatest feeling, fun, challenge that I have is when I go somewhere that I've never been before, or I'm opening up for somebody I've never opened up before, or been in a city I've never been before, and I get to meet these people and introduce who I am and entertain them and have fun for 30 minutes to an hour and get paid for it and get to take pictures with these people and sign stuff. And I mean, I'm an underground hip hop artist. We die and live and die by the fans and people coming out to shows. We don't make mad money off of CD sales, that's bogus. We make money on the road and at shows. So for me, it's always awesome to go on the road and meet people and have someone come up to me. And you know, this one kid had a tattoo with my lyrics on his arm. Like, I don't think there's anything that can really compete with the live show. Making an album, recording studio, I hate the studio. Like, a lot of MCs will say, oh man, I be in the studio for 3-4 hours. I hate it. I go in, I do what I gotta do, and I leave. I'm not a studio rat at all. My joy comes from taking those songs I've made and performing them live. Like, there's no greater feeling. It's a rush, it's a high that you really cannot describe. So, live show by far beats out everything else. Basically for me, just ideas will just come out of nowhere. I take ideas from life. Most people, you know, that have followed me for a long time, all my records and stuff have usually been like a 2 to 3 year gap. And I know a lot of people that come out with new albums every year, but for me, so much of my music is based on what's happening in my life. It wouldn't be fair to drop an album every year because not that much happens in a year to where you can make a whole album out of it. 2-3 years, you know, there's new love, there's breakups, there's, you know, children in my case. I had a son last year, he'll be born October 1st. Things like that happen. They inspire me to write, you know what I mean? So it takes me a little bit longer to inspire. So I'll sit with it for a while, I'll write it, I'll reconstruct it, then I'll go to the studio, I'll knock it out. I usually try to make sure I say what I want to say when I go there. And then once the song's done, we just keep going and going until we feel like we have a record. It's not, for me, it's not like a crazy process. I don't like sit and meditate and things like that. Like, I just, you know, when the songs come, they come, and I try never to rush it, try never to just make a song just to make it. It's really like, it's work for me. So, you know, that's pretty much it. You know, I don't really have a pattern that I follow, but like I said, I just always try to take my time. And you know, beat selection is very big. Some people have songs already, and then they fit them to a beat. For me, hearing certain beats will inspire me to get down and sit down and write. The last 2 projects I've done have been producer MC projects. I did one with my brothers, Guns and Butter, which is a group out of Boston and DC respectively, and then I'm doing a record right now with my boys, the Snow Goons, which is dropping October 25th. So these are just 2 different projects that were concentrated and based a lot on the production and what that beat was telling me to do. You know, I'm very in tune with that type of music making, where the beat really inspires me more so than anything else. So.
I appeared in the mist, riding on a slave ship, Dr. James River, where they used to hang and main niggas in the same picture. They'd exclaim scriptures, cocaine and liquor. I was born into a tenure, a fitna. Drug wars for 20 years, nobody richer. I had priors before Richard, bills before Cosby. It's not comedy, I'm starving. Yeah, I'm at your dance party, ice grilling, wondering aloud.
Yeah, I'm already back to work. I mean, the Snow Goons record is done. Mastering, we're actually shooting the first video for it on Monday. The first single is called Box Cutter Samurai. So that'll be dropping like the next week or 2, and then I'm right back to work on another. This will be my first, this next record I'm working on will be my first, I like to say, proper album in, you know, 3 years, because the Fight Music album as well as this record, like I said, producer, MC, they were collaborative efforts more so, you know what I mean? So this next record will be my first proper, just me picking the beats, just me deciding what's going to happen in about 2-3 years. So I have a lot to say, and I have a lot of things that I want to get off my chest. And this record's going to be probably my shortest. Every record I do is usually like 14 to 18 tracks. I want to keep it 10 to 12. Just try to, I've never made a really, in my opinion at least, a cohesive record. It's always been kind of all over the place because that's how my life is and that's how my tastes are, all over the place. So one track, I might be talking about the streets and education. The next, I might be talking about partying. The next, I'm talking about smoking. Like, I want to try to make a record that does all that but fits kind of a little bit more cohesively. So that'll be a challenge, and it'll be a good challenge because I haven't done that yet. I've always kind of just, whatever songs I make, you know, I don't do the record 100 songs and put out the best, you know, 15. I make, you know, 18 and put out the best 15, and the other 3 we just throw on the internet. You know what I mean? I think lyrically, I really want to just not waste any words. I feel like I've always kind of had a free train of thought where I would just speak and just spit and just whatever, but when I'm writing, whatever pops in my head, it works. I like to call it free association. So it's like I might be talking about something, and then the next bar will be like completely different. But this time around, I really want to make sure that everything stays within the context of what I'm talking about. And I really want to just try to enhance myself, because I feel like lyrics are back, and I feel like it was a period in hip hop where that wasn't really an emphasis. It was more beats and things like that. But a lot of these newer guys and a lot of the stuff that people are listening to, it's good because lyrics are back, I feel. So for me, it's just a return to that old hunger. You know, I'm getting older. I definitely feel underrated sometimes. So I think I really want to try to, you know, just make a really, really great album that all around is just felt. So that's gonna be the challenge. Yeah, well, I mean, I learned mostly from those guys. I'm pretty much, you know, not to put anybody out there, but I'm like me, King Size, and I think maybe one other person, I can't remember who. We're all the young boys, so to speak, even though I'm about to be 30, but, you know, Vinny Pass, Esoteric, Apathy, these are guys that have been around. You know, when I was just getting started, they had already been putting records out, already been touring, they had already learned the game. So for me, the most I learned from them is how to handle my business as an independent artist. You know what I'm saying? These are guys that, you know, pretty much have been doing it on their own. I mean, yeah, they've had backing by different people, but if you really look at what they've been doing, it's been from their own minds and their own business sense, and that's something that I've always lacked. I've always been an artist and just, I don't care about all that other stuff, but as I get older, like I said, I have a son, I have a mortgage now, like it's time to like really, you know, collect the reapings from what I feel I'm owed, you know what I'm saying? So that was what I've learned the most, and just also just, you know, the fans are the most important, you know. These are guys that have made a living and been able to tour and really feed themselves and their family off of their music because they have such a strong fan base, and they know not to ever try to really disrespect that fan base. You know, people, it's nothing wrong with trying different stuff, nothing wrong with being different, but the one thing I've learned is that, you know, when you have a market and you are respecting that market, you know where your bread is buttered. You need to make sure that those people are happy, because the one thing you don't want to happen is people that have been buying your records for years, they buy your new record and you're completely taking them somewhere different that they are not used to going. Sometimes it can work, but for the most part, you know, you can get left out of dust. Sometimes I don't know. Well, I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't stop. I don't know what I would do. Like, what's next? How do I get to that next level? I don't want to get stagnant. Anyone will tell you, man, especially if someone on my level, where it's like I feel like I'm not where I need to be. It's always that threat of losing your original fans, losing your, you know what I'm saying, where you started from. I've always tried to remember to stay humble and treat people the same way I've always treated them, because for me, I'm no big deal. To somebody else, I might be a big deal, but to me, I'm like, yo, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. But then you talk to, you know, I've had conversations with guys like Vinny, who's, you know, one of the most successful underground hip hop artists ever. Brother Ali, Atmosphere, and they all say the same thing. They all want to get it to another level. Everyone, there's no stopping. You know, I'm sure if you spoke to someone like Kanye or even Jay-Z, like there's no level where it's like, okay, I'm comfortable, let me stop. Everyone's success is like a drug, man. You get a little hit, a little taste of that shit, man. You want to just keep going. So for me, it's to just remember that, you know, I still have a long way to go. I'm still not where I want to be, and I still need to keep going, but at the same time, stay true to who I am and stay true to the same people that support me. So 2012 will be still touring for the Snow Goose record, which is dropping October 25th, called Your Favorite MC, and working on the new record, raising my son, you know, staying out of trouble, you know, just being a 30-year-old man. I want to lose some weight, I want to get healthy, you know, I chain smoke, I drink, smoke mad pot, I eat unhealthy. I don't want to be that dad, you know, when someone wants to go play catch, trying to chase it. I want to be, you know, and also just for me, for myself, you know, I really feel like 30 is going to be a turning point for me. It has to be, it needs to be, because, you know, it's time to put away for foolish things. So, and you'll continue to hear, you know, I'm always collabing with people, you know, always doing stuff with my AOTP fam, always doing stuff with the underground elite, with, you know, guys like Slane and Ill Bill, and you know what I'm saying, like, definitely going to continue to just do what I have to do and just try to take it up to another level, whatever that may be, you know. But I just want to try to continue doing what I've been doing and stay true to who I am as a man. Message to my fans: you guys are all I have. I appreciate you. I appreciate you because, you know, there's not a lot of you. There's a little bit of you, and I know that you know, I get messages all the time from y'all that say, yo, you're so underrated. You're so underrated, but I don't feel that way because of y'all. Because y'all tell me we think you're dope. We think you're underrated. We think you're one of the illest. It's because of y'all that I keep going. Because if I didn't have that interactions, I didn't have those messages coming to me, you know, I probably would have stopped a long time ago. So I think without fans, without people that truly respect the music and truly respect me as a person, I love y'all. And if we ever meet, you ever see me in the street, you ever see me in the show, I'm not the guy backstage being cool. I'm at the merch booth, I'm in the crowd, I'm taking pictures, I'm smoking with you, I'm you know what I'm saying, whatever it is that you want to do in that moment that we meet, I'm going to show you love because you're literally all I have. So thank you. Don't give up on me yet.
Have you ever heard the legend of the Backscatter Samurai?
Sanity. I don't know anything else that calms the, you know, calms the savage beast, so to speak. I feel like for so many different people, it's been an outlet. It's been a savior. It's been something that has allowed people to change their situation as well as their family situation. It's allowed people to, you know, have their spirit kind of almost, not to sound like too hippie-ish or cheesy, but I do believe that, you know, when you hear something in repetition, it kind of becomes a part of you. So, you know, there are people like Prince or Marvin Gaye or Stevie Wonder that I grew up listening to, that their music, I felt their spirit kind of entering in me. So I feel like music is you know, one word would be sanity because it helps people think clear, but also, you know, spirituality. I think it's the closest thing that we have to, you know, a living spirit. When you listen to someone's music and it touches your heart, and it can change, you know, your whole way of thinking. It can change the way you treat someone. It can treat the, you know, it can make you hang up the phone or pick up the phone. You know what I mean? It really depends on what that song is conveying to you, but it reaches inside you like nothing else. You know?
I had no voice until the beat came. I wonder how many black men in America these streets claim.
The first album that I ever bought, it wasn't, you know, obviously I didn't have any money. The first album that I ever purchased for Christmas with my own money was DJ Jazzy Jeff from the Fresh Prince. He's the DJ, I'm the rapper. I'm from Philly. You know, my parents approved of it because it was a clean hip-hop record. So that was the first one that I remember. It might have been one before that, but I definitely can't think of it. That was definitely the first thing I remember ever holding the tape in my hand and being like, oh man, this is awesome. You know what I mean? So, yup.
I had no voice until the beat came. I wonder how many black men in America these streets claim.
But a lot of people will be shocked to know that, like, I'm a huge down south radio rap dude. I love that shit. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would do it because it's not in me, but like, I love like the Drake, Wayne, Rick Rosses of the world. I love all that shit, man. I love Jeezy. I love ignorant hip hop. It has its place. I think anyone that tries to be like, oh, hip hop should only sound like this, those people are really close-minded and they're missing out on some great music. When I was 16, 17 in the basement with my headphones on, yeah, all I want to hear was that grinding stuff. But I'm a grown man that goes out now. So when I'm out and I have a couple drinks in me, man, I'm sorry, but I don't want to hear my dude. I love the apathy, but I don't want to hear, they don't want to hear me. They want to hear some rowdy stuff, and they will be surprised. A lot of your underground hip-hop artists that you like, they like that shit too, man. Don't let them fool you, though. There's some dope party music, whatever you want to call it, club music, whatever. I love all that shit. If you don't like it, see me about it. But there's nothing wrong with being out when I'm home or I'm vibing. I don't listen to that stuff. But when I'm out with my friends, you damn right I want to hear some Wayne or some Jeezy, some down south ignorant shit because I'm drunk and I want to wild out with my friends. Nobody is one person. Nobody is one thing. We're all different things. And for me, music, I will never ever be that guy that fronts. If I like something, I like it. It don't matter who made it, what genre they're in. I mean, I listen to everything, yo. I love Adele's new album. Like, I'm a dude that just loves music. So that would be my guilty pleasure, though. Believe it or not. I like radio rap. Some of it's fucking awful. But there are a couple songs, man. They get in your head, you ride out with your people, a couple drinks in the system, we're like, yo, turn that up, you know? So.
You speak of one nation, we don't count as much. Chinaman make $1,000 for selling the same amount of Dutch.
Let's see. Funniest on stage moment. Shit. Funniest on stage moment. Switzerland about a year ago, 2 years ago. Sometimes when I'm on stage, I get really, really comfortable and I kick my shoes off, you know? So I'm on stage rocking, I kick my shoes off. I'm spitting, show ends. Thank you, Switzerland, you guys have been amazing. Go off stage, my fucking shoes are off. So here I am, nobody really speaks English, you know what I'm saying? And I'm standing up here like a 6-year-old kid, like, woo! Fripp from Outer Space, me and him laugh about this shit all the time. So it was just, there was no, like, I couldn't do anything about it. I like walk through the crowd, I was like, look, I mean, you know, people, I'm like screaming, where are my shoes? And they're like, yeah, because they think I'm just like saying like something like, yeah, like they're like, yeah, Reef, we love you. And I'm like, no, fuck that, who stole my shoes? I had to wear my man Block McCloud, I'm a size 13, I had to wear his size 11. Ugly ass Nikes for like a day until we could get to a sneaker store, and I bought some like canvas, like $20. I mean, these were fucking like brand new Nike Air, hot exclusive. Like I haven't really even seen them since, yo. Like the same, I wanted to buy the same pair when I got back home. I couldn't even find them. They were like on some, like my man got them for me from somewhere in New York, like Fight Club or one of them joints, and I never could find them. That was probably the funniest. I was pissed then, but now looking back on it, that shit was hilarious.
One nation, we don't count as much. Chinaman make $1,000 for selling the same amount of Dutch.
Air Jordan, I'm obsessed with Jordans. I couldn't get them when I was young. My mom was like, I'm not fucking spending $100 on sneakers. You know, you get these, you know, every once in a while, the most I would have was like maybe some Timberlands, which were like 80, but my mom couldn't justify, which is understandable. She's a single parent, 2 kids, worked her fingers to the bone. She was a great mom, but she was not buying no Jordans. So when I got older and was able to get them, that's the one pair that when I go sneaker shopping, it's more than likely that I'm gonna get a pair of Air Jordans. If you look at my closet right now, it's like maybe 1 or 2 Air Max and the rest is Jordans. I love them. I just got these the other day. The Retro 5s just came back out. I love them. You know what I'm saying? They're mad comfortable. A lot of people that are collectors like, oh no, those are retro. I buy OGs. I'm like, that's cool, but the material that they had back then, that shit will fall apart now on my feet. I wear a size 13, so I'm always, you know, my feet are just mad sensitive. So. Jordan.
You speak of one nation, we don't count as much. Chinaman make $1,000 for selling the same amount of Dutch.
Oh man, Steve Prince's Steaks on the Boulevard Northeast. A lot of people say it's other places, Shanks in Southwest Philly. Some people like Tony Luke's, which is right by my house. I don't know anyone from Philly that likes Pasagenos. Anyone coming to Philly, don't fall for that. Pasagenos, shit is disgusting. That's a tourist trap. You want real Philly steak, you want to go in South Philly, you want to go to John's Roast Pork, which it sounds gross because I don't eat pork, but they make ill-ass steaks. And the real, if you have time, hit the Northeast, Roosevelt Boulevard, Steve Prince's Steaks. There's something about the meat and the cheese. It's like thin strips. The cheese is always like melting on. I don't know. That's my favorite. Steve's.
See me coming, mean it's time to go. The Lost Cauze make you see stars like kaleidoscope.